So you've been thinking of selling, but afraid that you have some things that have gone on in your house that you really don't want to tell people about. Well, let's talk about the Ohio property disclosure form right after this. Hi, I'm Rhonda with Comey and Shepherd Realtors here in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I know, I totally understand, like, maybe there have been some things going on in your property that you don't want to admit. You're afraid if you tell people, they will not want to buy your house. So let's dissect that. The property disclosure form is 5 pages long, but the first page really just talks about the form and how to fill it out. And the last page is all signatures. So it's really just 3 pages. And there's a couple of easy questions at the beginning, like, do you have public water? Do you have public sewer? Is there enough water for the household? Now, the questions do get a little more challenging. They talk about water intrusion. Do the systems work? And the one thing that I have to mention is make sure when you go through that list, do not do it flippantly. More than likely, there's something in your house that may not be something that you use every day, like a fireplace. We may not want to warrant that. It may work fine, but if you haven't used it or had it serviced in a long time, we need to know that. Things like ice makers, humidifiers on your furnace, just small systems like that are kind of important to the new buyer. They do need to know whether or not those things are working, and a great place to put that information so that everyone knows up front is in the property disclosure. But back to your concern of, well, I don't want to tell anybody because then they're not going to want to buy the property. Honestly, the more transparent you can be, the more upfront about what went on, what was done to repair it, or maybe an ice maker or a microwave, it just doesn't work at all. It just shows that you are honest, that you know what's going on in your house. And that is not a bad thing. No one likes to find out after they have paid $500 or more for a home inspection that the foundation has an issue and you knew about it, but you decided not to disclose it. Or that the roof is leaking or did leak. And then the question is it still leaking? Like, what's going on? And so it's important that even if that roof was replaced, it's good to just say, okay, we repaired everything and we replaced the roof, but yes, there was a leak. That's what let us know we needed to replace it. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, better than having the inspector go up in the attic and say, oh, yeah, there's some stuff on the wood here that shows that there's been a leak. Now, most of those inspectors will double check with a moisture meter or a thermal imaging camera whether or not the area is still showing dampness, moisture, extreme temperature change from, that area versus an area next to it. So again, I think it's just easier if you can say up front, yes, the bathtub overflowed. And we see this all the time. Yes, there's a repair across the kitchen ceiling because there's a bathroom right above it. But you know what? It was the tub that overflowed. It was a toilet that leaked. We found it immediately. We had someone come in and fix it, or we cut out the drywall even. Whatever you did, make sure people know that. And then, have you had any issues since? Is it still leaking? The problem was solved. The problem was fixed. Whatever that thing is, just make sure you explain it. So So again, the things you're going to say in that disclosure, what the problem was, what was done to repair it, and the result. So again, be transparent. We always want people to tell the buyers up front because it just allows them to make their decision easier. And the other part of that is, that they know you're being honest. And that goes a long way in this business. Make sure that you comment below or reach out to us with any additional questions or comments about filling out the property disclosure, selling your home that may have some issues. We would be happy to help you find where you belong here in Cincinnati.